Você que tá aí ouvindo o podcast, sabia que o poder de construir a carreira profissional dos seus sonhos também está em suas mãos? Na pós-graduação do Senac, você encontra diversos cursos com 12 meses de duração, além de estudar com aulas presenciais mais EAD. E tem mais, o TCC é opcional. Tudo isso para você conciliar trabalho, estudos e vida social. Quer mais? Você também pode ter até 50% de desconto. Confira as condições no site sp.senac.br/pós-graduação. Quer saber? Senac.
Read for school. Read a recipe.
Feel and finely chop the onion.
Read a magazine. Read anything you want. Orcam Read makes reading simple. Available now at orcam.com.
We do it. I've been investing in crypto for a while now. I just put in a couple dollars every week, but why am I charged a fee every time? Well, Robinhood doesn't charge commissions. Stack those coins up over the long term. You can even do this automatically. What do you mean automatically? With Robinhood, you can automatically invest a recurring amount. You can pick out how much to invest and how often, and they handle the rest. Saves you a lot of time and money.
Alrighty, guys, we got a good episode today for you. We have the latest on Peppermint Patti there, Jen Psaki of the Biden administration, breaking down over the new Florida law. Yeah, more on that topic and more, guys, on today's podcast. Don't touch the dial.
Rated mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? It's time for the final countdown. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, let's rock.
Broadcasting from the Big Peach of Atlanta, Georgia. A show unfiltered, unscripted, raw. The Patriot Angle Podcast.
Alrighty, guys, welcome to today's show. Welcome, guys. I hope everybody enjoyed last night's show. We had a couple little audio glitches, but, you know, that's what happens sometimes when you go live, which we are going to probably eliminate that to actually eliminate the lag. We have been developing some lag issues, so to speak, onto the show, not understanding why. Producer Eric, a few other people that work here on the show have been looking at that to try to understand what's going on. Not understanding what's going on with that, but as of right now, we're going to probably eliminate the live feature of the shows to see maybe possibly that will fix the lag issues until we can go live again. So I do apologize for that. So every video podcast that will probably be uploaded now into the near future will all be pre-recorded episodes. So do apologize for last night's little lag issue with the audio. We are trying to fix that. As you're hearing the podcast now, it has been a pre-recorded podcast. So, you know, we're trying to eliminate that lag. Because we do understand that this podcast reaches far lengths of the world, you know, audience coming out of the UK, Canada, and everything else for that matter. So we do apologize for that, guys. I want to break down a story coming out of Jen Psaki, literally just earlier today, put this out. Literally breaking down over the new Florida law that that Governor Ron DeSantis had passed in protection towards transgenderness being taught in schools. Check this out, guys.
Jen Psaki completely breaking down when asked her thoughts on Florida's parental rights and education bill.
I have to be careful about politics because of the Hatch Act police that are waiting outside in the bushes somewhere. I'm like going to get emotional about this issue because it's horrible. But it's like kids who are bullied, and like all these leaders are taking steps to hurt them and hurt their lives.
Joe Concha joins us live with his take. Joe, based upon that reaction, isn't it more likely than not that she never read that law in the first place?
Probably not, because, look, Todd, Carly, I don't know if that was performance art or she genuinely feels that way, but I do know that Jen Psaki is on quite the media tour lately, isn't she? It's as if she's almost trying to promote herself for an upcoming job she has across the street from you guys there over at 30 Rock and NBC and MSNBC. And she's lying again, by the way, about the so-called don't say gay bill in this situation, because the bill doesn't mention the word gay once. It's a bill that says you can't teach sex or sexual orientation or gender identity to those between the ages of kindergarten and third grade. And Jen has kids roughly around the same age as my kids. I have a son that's a kindergartner. I have a daughter that's in second grade. And I'd love to hear her explain why she thinks it's okay to teach kids that age that stuff. Either way, she should have retired weeks ago. This is a clear conflict of interest of her being press secretary and also now promoting herself as a future host, because why else would she be going on all these podcasts if this isn't to make it all about Jen Psaki?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Joe Concher. You know, he happens to be the Fox News contributor to that platform, that network. You know exactly, guys. Why would she be putting on such a front, right, on all these podcasts if she wasn't promoting herself as a future host to a show that she's trying to create, right? And let me say something here for Jen Psaki here. You know, why is it appropriate for teachers to teach this type of behavior to kids? Seriously, I mean that's the question, right? The $1 million question. Why is it appropriate for that? You know, teachers should not be teaching kids from the ages of 4 to 8 years old about their own sexuality. That is the parent's responsibility, period. Right? I mean, am I right or wrong? You know, let me find out exactly what they spoke to any 5-year-old. And I can tell you right now that I'll be on the phone with the superintendent right away. I mean, someone needs to check in on their children. If she thinks it's okay to teach children that garbage, maybe her kids are in danger of themselves learning about this type of behavior, right? I mean, seriously. I mean, more on this, guys, right after these words. Don't go anywhere.
Hey guys, this show is now on Amazon Music and Audible. That's right. Gonna want to check us out on Amazon Audible and Amazon Music. Great set of platforms. We are so honored and grateful to be part of the Amazon team. And we're honored that they are allowing us to be launched on those two major platforms. So thank you to our new friends here on Amazon Music and Audible for choosing the Patriot Angle podcasts. Thank you very much. A true honor to be part of the Amazon team, guys.
You know, guys, I want to break down what this bill is about here. This bill is about protecting the education of children across the state of Florida, you know, in their school system. And it should also be implemented for the entire country. I've done a podcast episode on this whole entire issue more than a few episodes back. about a week and a half ago, actually. And I touched on this very, very briefly and very, very responsibly about this issue. This is a bill not about, a child having, maybe two dads or two moms or this and that. This is about the fundamentals, the integrity of education towards that young educational level on children. Since when have we become a society where this is allowed to be addressed across the border? I mean, seriously. More insight here coming out of Fox News relating this issue. Check this out.
Of what this Florida bill actually does.
Well, completely. And by the way, as a parent, again, if my kids should be having that conversation with me, not with teachers. And I'm sure some teachers would be very uncomfortable having that conversation. Either way, it should be noted that Jen Psaki today in Washington, D.C. is a featured speaker at an event along with Kelly O'Donnell. Who's Kelly O'Donnell? She is a White House correspondent for NBC News. Where's Jen Psaki going to be working in a couple of weeks? NBC News. And now they'll be doing a panel event together. Again, does anybody on the White House press corps, does anybody have a problem with this? As part of the White House Correspondents Association, no statements, nothing. This is all A-OK. It's ridiculous, Carl.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. It's also can be looked at as conflict of interest, right? Big time. Why is not the White House looking at this? Conflict of interest. Now, I'm not just attacking, the press secretary, Jen Psaki, but she has to be looking at her roles very, very responsibly. To be still on the press secretary team and the leader of the press secretary, right, of the White House, and then allowing herself to be accepting roles for NBC, right? And other probably news platforms in the near future is conflict of interest. Big time. Now, let's go back to the topic here. We're talking about this, Jen Psaki literally breaking down with the whole Florida law, right? Now, this is a good point here, folks. Even if you bring up this subject with full-grown adults, now you could be charged for sexual harassment. So why is it okay with minors? Right? It breaks down the key elements. And it also, it can break the character, right? I mean, seriously, you can be looked at as a teacher, as a pervert in some minds of parents if you teach this type of garbage. They should teach just the basics, period. That's it. So, considering that she is a mother herself, how the hell does she think it's okay to teach anything to do with sexuality or gender to young children? How'd she like it if someone was doing that to her own children, right? Let's break down the narratives, right? She doesn't understand the bill, folks. She's just playing it into the media narrative. If she doesn't understand the bill, she should just step down because she's spreading misinformation, right? But God forbid, we can't say that on the political scale, because spreading misinformation in the political angle, it doesn't exist. It does not exist. The overlords must not like the people's opinions, pretty much, right? Their operation is one of the great distractions to the American people, And then, did you see the video here? A lot of people are seeing the video here on YouTube and other video platforms on the internet. The crocodile tears, so to speak, of Jen Psaki. Here's my comment on that. Stop indoctrinating our children, or this is going to get real ugly in the conservative movement of America. The conservatives are not going to stand for this. I know a lot of conservatives in the state of Florida. I know a lot of conservatives in the state of Alabama, both Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida and Governor Kay Ivey now of Alabama are not standing for this type of behavior, you know? But here's one thing, folks. I bet some money on this that she's not allowing her kids to be exposed to any of this crap, and she's just making it a publicity stunt, right? That's all it is. You know, do you actually think that any children relating to any politician right now on this administration, the Biden administration, is allowing their children to be taught this type of behavior? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it, because behind the curtain, so to speak, of this administration, they put their kids through like private prep schools. And, you know, I could tell you for one, you know, the education system in the private level of it versus the public level of it is very, very different. Very different. My child, okay, my daughter, when she was younger, went to a private school, okay, and the education there was taught very, very differently than it would be taught in a public school. A different curriculum, right? Totally different. But this is the administration now wanting to groom children all over America. Yeah, that's their promise. They want to teach this type of subject to children as young as 4 through 8 years old. You know, this is one of the many issues, folks, that is pulling our country apart. People are very pissed off, and I think this is a criminal regime that is playing literally with fire. Seriously, they're playing with fire. They're out of control, out of control. And when will this stop? Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? The many lies coming out of this administration and everything else. Many, many, many lies. Now, coming out of about an hour ago, Jen Psaki is literally now calling out, oh God, this woman is like, she's literally on the breaking point, folks, of, becoming viral herself on the internet. You're going to want to check this out, guys.
Hey guys, this episode today is brought to you by our good friends at Amazon Kindle. Love it, guys. If you're out there trying to find a book, just about any type of book they have is on Amazon Kindle, whether it's political, science, sporting, just about everything out there, culture, right? Cooking, they have it all on Amazon Kindle. They also have the Amazon Unlimited, which is their book club, guys. Sign up for it today. It's great. Unlimited downloads, just about everything is with that program, their plan there with Amazon Unlimited. Phenomenal, guys. We have a book out on Amazon Kindle right now as we speak. Can America Survive After Biden? Still available for low as $4.99. You heard it, guys. $4.99. Can't beat it. Pick up your copy of Can America Survive After Biden on Amazon Kindle and Amazon as well.
Michael Gardner, a host like no other, unfiltered, unscripted, raw.
Twitter is very white, it's very liberal, it's very coastal. Sometimes it becomes a self-perpetuating thing.
What? Jen Psaki, guys, has now taken an aim at Twitter, labeling it very white, very liberal. It's very coastal. And sometimes it becomes self-portraying thing. What? She said this on News Not Noise podcast. She's been going on a lot of podcasts lately. Can she be promoting herself for a future show, right? Where a lot of us are calling it what the hell did I say earlier today, right? This is a self-interest type of thing. Conflict of interest. Another, we could be labeling it as conflict of interest. Here's my analysis on this, guys. You really have to love the irony when an entitled, privileged, upper white class white woman calls out other people's whiteness. It's just so amazingly tone deaf, right? If you ask me. I mean, lack of self-awareness, you know. Ain't it something, right? They love to tell, how great they are, and this is just, pretty typical, when, even Elizabeth Warren told Psaki, she was pretty sure Psaki was Native American. Remember that when she went into that, she said that, go ahead and include that on your next job application. I'm telling you, her narrative is literally imploding, folks. Literally, a government official should not be spewing hate for a particular race. Imagine if a particular race did that here. Oh my God! Can you imagine the comments coming out? Literally, the comments coming out. I mean, it's crazy, But this is just self-betraying hate coming out of this administration. They'll do anything in their power to try to settle the narratives, and this is just, oh boy, what is it? It's for one, it's a little idiocy, right? It's just kind of how can I say it? Pathetic, if you ask me. Literally pathetic. Where you have a woman like Jen Psaki crying out for help. Maybe she knows that she can move up in the ranks, so to speak, if she goes on these mainly liberal podcasts, right, shows. I mean, I don't know. Producer Eric, would you want Jen Psaki on our show? Shaking his head, no. I sure as hell don't. Even though she's, a public big figure, right, a bigwig of the Biden administration, we wouldn't want her in our show, right? What the hell will we say? I know what I would say. Why are you lying to the American people every single day, right? I mean, seriously, why are you lying to the American people every single day? All right. It's on me, folks. It is on me. More with Jen Psaki, spilling out, we are going to get through this. She was on just not too long ago on the Pod Save America podcast. And oh boy, she gave us updates on the state of Biden's agenda. You're going to want to hear this, guys. I mean, like literally, she went into full detail, guys. Check this out.
At Harvard Business School, we have a unique approach to online learning. Each course is developed by leading faculty and features immersive case studies, interactive teaching tools, and a supportive peer learning community. You want to advance, and we want to help you get there. It's why we created an online learning experience that brings participants together from around the world and gives them real-world business skills.
Eat only raw food.
Nothing but plant. Eat high fat.
Eat low fat.
Eat 6 meals a day.
Take a deep breath and hold it. Right now, you hold in your lungs the secret to sustainable weight loss. You can breathe out now. This is Lumen, the first device for hacking your metabolism. With just one breath, Lumen tells you what you're currently burning for energy, carbs, or body fat. So you can see what's going on with your metabolism in real time and what to do about it. Breathe in the morning to get a personalized nutrition plan for the day. One that's based on your personal goals and adaptable to your eating habits. Breathe before a meal to see how the last one affected you and get recommendations to keep your body on track. Breathe to see if you have enough energy for your workout or if you should fuel up. Lumen doesn't just tell you what to do. It gives you the whys behind it all. Why your weight might be fluctuating. Why you feel low on energy. Why your body is storing carbs. Because the truth is, you have a different metabolism than me, than him, than her. Which is why Lumen is more than a diet. It's nutrition designed for you. And all you have to do is breathe. Sound like magic? It's actually science. The concentration of the various gases in your breath tells us what your cells are burning for fuel. Like CO2. Burning fuel from carbs releases more CO2 than burning body fat. Well, this science isn't new. It's been helping world-class athletes reach peak levels of fitness for years.
What we think we're doing and what's actually happening in our bodies can be very different things. Lumen is like a tool for actually giving you that ability to understand and sense what's going on in your body. That's like a superpower.
Anyway, Lumen measures your breath, does some math, and sends expert advice straight to your smartphone. Lumen is your lifestyle life coach, your metabolic meal planner, your nightstand nutritionist, your daily dietitian, your sleep scientist, your workout whisperer, your holistic health handheld. Simply speaking, a sustainable solution to a healthier new you.
We spent the last 4 years validating Lumen's technology in clinical trials, universities, and top hospitals around the world. And we've been helping hundreds of beta users make a sustainable change in their lives.
I've been able to lose 15 pounds with Lumen, which is amazing. It's crazy. I use it like I use a scale these days.
There's this awe aspect of it. How can this little thing, doesn't even weigh much, actually measure my metabolism just in my breath?
Within a day, I'm going to see Lumen's direct impact based off of what I've eaten. Now we're excited to bring Lumen to you. So back us today and start hacking your metabolism.
Welcome to Pod Save America. I'm John Favreau.
I'm Dan Pfeiffer.
On today's pod, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki is here to talk about how the president intends to get his agenda through Congress. Dan and I dive into the roiling debate over popularism and the future of the Democratic Party. And we react to the news that AT&T funded the right-wing propaganda network OAN with a game we're calling Two Truths and a Big Lie. All right, let's get to the news. President Biden is dealing with a delightful set of challenges right now, a pandemic, an economy that hasn't fully recovered from the pandemic, an ongoing assault on democracy by the other major political party, and two extremely annoying Democratic senators who continue to stand in the way of his agenda passing Congress. Here to talk with us about how much fun she's having answering only the most thoughtful questions from reporters about all of this every day of the week, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki. Jen, welcome back.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
So I know we've been friends for a long time, but I have to be a serious journalist right now and ask you some pretty hard-hitting questions about which tweets Ron Klain has been liking. Is that What is it like to have a Politico reporter whose entire beat is Ron's tweet likes?
It's a little mysterious. I mean, there's a few things going on in the world. So you do have to find yourself kind of giving the context of the tweet that was retweeted and what the retweet may or may not mean. Sometimes what we're doing here, sometimes what we're doing here. So, yes.
Quality journalism, Jen. All right, so
yes.
The three of us were all at the White House together through the 2009 financial crisis, Tea Party protests, 2010 midterms, government shutdown, debt ceiling crisis. How does what you guys are dealing with right now compare to all those other shit sandwiches that we had to eat?
Well, I wish I could sugar honey iced tea. That's what I'm going to say as a government official these days, John.
That's sugar honey iced tea. Episode title.
You know, I just have to keep it PG. Keep it PG.
Yes.
So, look, I mean, I think having been here before, and a lot of us have, helps because you having lived through some of these journeys before, especially in the legislative front, means that you don't really freak out, right? And
all right, guys, listen to this crap. This is the White House press secretary, Jen Psaki, on another podcast. Podcast Psaki, we're going to start calling her, right? Joins John and Dan, right, on the Pod Save America podcast to chat about all challenges in front of the Biden administration. Then John and Dan explained and examined the debate over popularism and the direction of the Democratic Party and their new investigative report about AT&T's role in propping up the right-wing propaganda network, OAN. God. Oh, my goodness gracious here. Now, these are former Obama staffers, John Favreau, right, and John Lovett, right, and Tommy Vetter, right? They have created a place where people can have the same conversations that inform, entertain, and inspire action, right? And then in 2017, they started Crooked with Pod Save America, a no bullshit conversation about politics. Well, that's kind of how we do it on our show, but we don't consider ourselves a left-wing podcast. We consider ourselves a conservative podcast. We deliver no bullshit, but we deliver facts, not narratives. Now, this podcast here that she was on, which was back in last year, actually in October of 2021. So it's an older podcast episode, but some of the, the crap that was coming out, right, was just blatant lies, literally blatant lies. Listen to more of this garbage.
On documents or on individuals to date. We'll keep considering because we need to get to the bottom of what happened that day and we can't stand for it. I mean, the Virginia race is really, I'm a Virginia resident, so this is like a little close to home here.
Yeah.
It's a little scary. As a progressive woman in the suburbs, we need to pay attention to what's going on here because this could really change things for us. And, I think what is happening a little bit, or this is, I guess, my assessment is, we're kind of normalizing people who are not Trump but are Republicans as if they're fine. And some we can work with on certain things. That is part of the unifying message. Roads are not a partisan issue, right? Even universal child care is not a partisan issue, clean drinking water. But ultimately, when you have people who are denying climate change exists, not allowing women to make choices about their own health care, that's not moderate. That is not normal. And that should not be normalized. And so some of it, I think, is needing to make clear that being unified does not mean every Republican in Congress is agreeing with us on everything. They're not.
Stop it right there. Okay, here's something that I have to literally say. Okay, about our conversation about politics, culture, and the world around us. Right. One that doesn't just focus on what's broken, but what we can do to fix it. Here's what my solution about all of this is, folks. All of it. Okay, you have, a woman, right, in the press secretary team, Jen Psaki, that is a very, very good actor in her aspect. Very extraordinary actor. I mean, we just plugged in earlier before with the fake crocodile tears and everything else. I mean, come on. A lot of people are like, oh, that's genuine. That's a genuine Jen there. Okay, yeah, okay. Here's something here. Okay, my question with this is, okay, now let me before I go there, okay, this is not my first time I listened to this podcast, Pod Save America. They're mainly about two guys, that somewhat know about politics and the far left and the far right agendas. They do. I'm going to give them props to that. They do. But here's something right here, where you have a woman named Jen Psaki that's literally going out on a lot of lies. A lot of lies. This woman, I mean, she can't catch herself without lying. Okay. They'll do everything in their power to keep the narratives basically the same. Okay. Now she's a good actor. Let me get you that. Half the stuff that comes out of her mouth is just idiocy. Idiocy at its best. And she went into saying this on a recent episode, and this is coming out of what 4 days ago, actually, which I'll plug into the show, where Jen Psaki talks honesty, and she's being honest about Fox News and Republicans. Oh, very rare, and another episode of Pod Save America, and this was a live podcast. What she can't say at the podium. Oh yeah. She went into went into great detail, folks, with this. Guest host Jane Coaston joins John, and Tommy and Dan live at the nation's capital, where this was when Donald Trump made his first major announcement. You're going to want to check this out, guys. I mean, this is. I'm gonna plug this in here, and then I'm gonna have to close it out here soon because we have to prep in for tomorrow's show with a very good, very good author coming on the show tomorrow. You're not gonna want to miss that. A very good author. That's gonna be episode 244, the conversation with author of Terror Strikes, Joseph Leonard. You're not gonna want to miss that episode. That will be tomorrow evening, guys. On the podcast here. So we got to prep for that show for tomorrow. So we're going to close it out very short here on the podcast. But I want to plug this in here. This coming out of 4 days ago from Crooked Media, the YouTube channel. You're not going to want to miss this, guys. Check this out. What you're hearing, guys, is Pod Save America live and on tour here.
ADC. Right. What a incredibly long 2 weeks to slow the spread that was.
Welcome to Pod Save America. I'm John Favreau.
I'm Jane Coaston, host of New York Times The Argument and resident of Navy Yard. Let's go.
All right, producer Eric, please fast forward through the boardness here. Put the interview here with Jen Psaki here on this conflict of interest, guys. Big time. You got a press secretary that's clearly showing this. I mean, what? Oh boy! And this is this show happened to be the guest host Jane Coaston that joined John, Tommy, and Dan live in the nation's capital. Donald Trump's basically makes his first major campaign investment, while many question if his endorsements are losing their political power. Republicans are remaining intent on fighting culture wars over abortion, Disney, and LGBTQ rights, while voters care most about the economy. And White House press secretary Jen Psaki and comedian Mike Bergalia join for a game called As the President Has Long Said. Yeah, we're going to fast forward
Please
right into
welcome to the stage a good friend of the pod, a really good friend of ours before there ever was a pod, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
You have some fans.
that may be my team. I gave them like $100 each to cheer aloud. So there they are. Some of them are single and ready to mingle. I'm happy to talk about it after the show. It's great to be here. Thank you.
Look, this is like, as we always predicted back in the Obama campaign, this is how it would end.
Yeah, no, this is
exactly
the White House press secretary. We're doing a podcast.
right. When we were on a bus eating like Jell-O molds and rolls of turkey and things, exactly where we thought we would be.
This is it. All right, so I want to start with something that feels a bit newsy. Earlier today, after reports that you guys are considering sending a senior official to Ukraine, a reporter asked the president if he's ready to go to Ukraine himself. And I was watching this clip, and then he just said, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, okay." Is sending the president to Ukraine something that you guys have like talked about? I know there's no plan. Like, is it something that you guys are discussing?
No.
Okay.
No.
So he's ready. He's just not like.
He is ready. He's ready for anything. The man likes a fast car, some aviators. He's ready to go to Ukraine. It's true. He does.
Oh yeah, it's true, huh? It's true, Jen, huh? I'm gonna stop it there, and I'm gonna give you my analysis of this before I close it out on the show. You know that there's he likes fast cars and aviators. Yeah, Joe's ready, huh? Joe. I don't think so, Jen. I see the lies coming out of this administration every single day. I see the difference makers between this administration and our previous administration. I see it every single day. I don't see fast cars. I don't see aviators. I don't see high endurance levels on this administration. I don't see it. I see a weak, fragile old man that should have never been elected in the first place. I mean, clear and simple. The man should have never been elected. This is showing every single day. And what we need to do, folks, okay, and I'm going to close it out right here with this statement here. What we need to do, folks, is we need to eliminate the Democrats from gaining power once again, not only in 2022 and our midterms, but we need to secure the 2024 general election and just a short 2 years away. Okay, we need to eliminate Franklin. We need to eliminate corrupted elections. We need to eliminate mail-in ballots. And we need to eliminate more things that is not only going to give us a correct and accurate election of results, but we need to do it in a respected manner. Now, we can do all that, folks, by electing in people that truly have our voice in their perspective persuasions, if you understand what I'm going with this. Okay, we just can't just elect somebody because they look good on paper or they look good on media. We need to make sure that their promises are kept and it's not just a political bumper sticker. We need to make sure that we vote in the correct measures that will allow us on the forefront of the world map in future generations, future elections, right, folks? We need to basically create a safe haven in this country and look at 2020 as an election that not only was stolen from the American people, but corrupted in so many ways. COVID was used as an excuse, as a distraction to silence the majority of the American people in this country. And you need to see it of how it is. And that's how it was, folks. Clear and simple. A lot of people are seeing it. A lot of states are coming out with evidence after evidence. I just seen Minnesota, another state, Wisconsin, Georgia. A lot of these states, folks, are literally showing the evidence from 2020. It's plain and simple what happened. You need to understand what truly happened. And by doing that, we need to look at 2020 as an example of something that we cannot repeat in future elections. And that's my closing, folks. Hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Remember, you can follow me on Facebook, the Patriot Angle Podcast, as well as Instagram, Patriot_Angle. _unfiltered. Be sure to check our website out, patriotanglepodcast.com. Always plugging in and posting some exclusive, unfiltered content of politics, sports, and the general news that mainstream does not cover. So you're going to want to check that out, guys. And be sure to check out our exclusive interview with author of Terror Strikes, Joseph Leonard, joining the show tomorrow evening. Want to join that podcast episode. It's going to be a really, really good one, guys. With that being said, thank you for joining today's podcast, and we'll see you tomorrow evening. Thanks very much, guys.
You just heard an episode of the Patriot Angle Podcast. Remember to follow us on Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon Music, and Audible. Also streaming live on Twitch. Remember to follow and like us, guys, for unfiltered, uncensored, raw content. Also, please head over to www.patriotanglepodcast.com for all your exclusive Patriot Angle Podcast content and material, as well as the merchandise website, www.patriotunfiltered.com. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.